Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast, and I know this one's a little late, but I thought I might as well just do it on the weekday because I've been busy throughout the whole weekend. So as you can see on the screen here, I'm sharing the results from last week. It was a bit of a slow week, but we do get these sort of weeks at times. It's not always like major profits. Sometimes it's good to, even if you have we had a break even week around about there, so you can see it's a plus 0.8%. It was a Friday that was a rough day for us. That's just because we had the direction both incorrect on gold and US30. We gave it an attempt and then we realized that nope, doesn't seem to be working. So we're just gonna be done for the day here at minus 1.5%, which brought us down to around break even. These sort of weeks, I wanted to quickly just touch on this because I know a lot of people like to sort of hear my thoughts on what happens, on how I sort of deal with this sort of things around the week. I'd say being at a break even is still very good. You're still doing a lot better than majority of the traders out there. If you even are still just having a break even week, a lot of the traders, around 90% of the traders, are losing every single week. Right, and if you're touching break even, all you just need is either one less trade. So maybe if you didn't trade Friday, or even one good trade to get you up into that positive section to even make profit for the week. And all you just need to do is just keep that then consistent. Once you keep that consistent, then you can keep the consistent profits weekly. Maybe you have break even one day, but at least you're not making a huge amount of loss, which then negates all the profits that you've made. So just wanted to quickly touch on that before I jumped into this week's forecast. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it now. So I'm going to bring up the chart. As you can see here, we're on gold. So I wanted to let Monday play out before I made this video, so we can then just sort of look at what we're likely to expect throughout the week. I think I might sneeze. Nope. No, it's gone. Good. So one thing I shared on the channel here is the news that we have this week. It's a very busy week in terms of fundamentals. You can see that on Tuesday we have job openings. This is something that a lot of people will be looking at, which is at 3 p.m, which is 10 a.m. New York time. Over here on Wednesday we have non-farm employment change, and then we also have FOMC in the evening. So this could be like either the manipulation, and then the main move could be on Wednesday, and this could then continue with Thursday and Friday with your PMI and NFP. So what a crazy week it is this week. Very high volatile week as well. So today was a day that I wasn't focused on getting majority of the moves, because I know that will come later on. But looking on gold, my main aim was obviously to see what would happen at this where it opened. So you can see that I mentioned on the channel, on the free channel, that I was expecting for price to do something like this, right? Push up into that 50% area, right? And then start turning itself back around. And that's exactly what price did, pushed above that 50% area, which is right here, around about here. So this is how weekly open, and then the price failed to give any push higher during the US session. And then once we sort of got that consolidation during US session, we ended up getting that big push towards the downside. So what I'm still expecting is to see what price wants to do overnight, whether it wants to get back above here. So this is your new latest swing point that you need to keep watching. So this high that we've got here will be classed as your swing point. So if price wants to push above there, this will be a break, and then you would likely get some sort of retracement, and then price may want to push a little higher either into this sort of breaker that we have here and retest that before maybe making a move back down. So that is my sort of main aim that I'm going into with tomorrow. We have this 1 hour fair value gap, and this is going to be very key because it's going to have yesterday's high, yesterday's daily open as resistance, as well as this 1 hour fair value gap. So I'm going to see what happens during overnight. As you can see, it's 10:30 here in the UK. So we're going to see what happens overnight, where the price wants to follow this sort of pattern and push above here and even close outside of this. Then price will use this as support to then push price higher. So that is my sort of first scenario. But the fact that price has even pushed down from here after the 50%, right, and failed to push higher, I think that price could use this to then push price back down, and if you start getting this, then you're likely to see price push down, and then you're likely to see price push below the prior weekly low. So I'm going to make that right here. So this is the prior weekly low, PWL here, the previous weekly low, which is here, and then look what you have below that. You have a huge liquidity pool which has been bounced off since the start of July, and now we come all the way back towards the end of July, which is not coincidental at all. But looking at the daily time frame, this is what I was talking about. We have a very big daily fair value gap which is not being filled. The price has now come back to it. I believe that this will get tapped into very soon. It should be this week in terms of the fundamentals that we have, but when is the question, not what day. So we're looking at to see what happens around this 1 hour fair value gap, and then likely to see price continue down, or if it wants to push a little higher, fair enough, it can do something like this, and then you're likely to get end of the week, give it that main push with NFP back into this, or what price could do is immediately push down into this around Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you're likely to get that midweek reversal where price starts to push back up and start reversing after tapping into this liquidity pool that we have here. So that's my analysis on gold. I'm going to quickly give some analysis on US30 because we did take a few trades on US30 today. Our main aim was to see either price start reversing to push back into this 1 hour fair value gap. You can see with New York open, if I jump onto the 30-minute time frame, you'll be able to see a lot better that we had a new week opening gap, which is here. Price ended up pushing up, and during London it did push halfway into this and then pushed all the way back up towards the Asia liquidity. After taking the Asia liquidity, price immediately attacked to push down to fill the opening gap, and then price did continue pushing down. So my main aim was to see price tap into this and then push up, right? But what happened is price just came very close to the prior sort of swing low that we have here, but didn't touch in the 1 hour fair value gap. Now this gave us a confirmation that if price then retraces, this is just a retracement, and price will likely fall back into this area here because it's not collected the internal range liquidity yet. It's just sort of pulling back. So price did not have that strength to do that, and price then retraced back to the new week opening gap. So these gaps are not random. They are they're used as support and resistance during the whole week or during the month. Price can then come back to this weekly opening gap that we have here. So it's a key reference point that we have, and you can see the price bounced off it, broke below, came back to retest it, and held below. So then we did open a trade around this area here, which was right here at the 1 p.m. and we were looking for price to push lower. From here, price did dance around for like an hour, and then we did close just around here, around about plus 0.2%, because I didn't want to hold overnight. And you can see that just an hour before PM session was just about to close. Now it's just for around about 3 p.m. US time. Price did just start pushing down, so I'm still expecting on US30 for price to tap into here. Now, giving you a more sort of higher time frame approach on what I'm expecting after that, I'd like you to see if price wants to hold on that level here and continue the bullish pressure that we have been sort of making. This is your key swing point that we have right here. So it's this level here. If this starts to get break, then that will be your sort of indication that price wants to go lower. But I clicked the wrong one again. There we go. But for now, price is still continuing its bullish pressure. So once this occurs, you're likely to get some sort of reversal like this, something like that, where price will continue pushing up. The reason why I say this is if you go to the 4 hour time frame, this 1 hour fair value gap is also within a 4 hour fair value gap, so a lot of support here. We have 2 New York opens that are below, so a lot of New York traders are still buying from these areas here. So we're likely to see price retrace into this area and push up, where I'm marking these sort of fair value gaps that we have here, and we also have a 1 hour breaker block which has not been retested. So this is key targets that we still have open going into this week. So a very, very interesting sort of week that we have here on gold and US30. I hope you guys have enjoyed this sort of forecast and got some valuable information from it. If you have, don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe. The links are all in the description. It's been OaseFX. Peace out.